Now, on this build here, it's actually an AMT 124 Dukes of Hazzard Generally kit. Now, this here, as you're seeing right here, is actually, well, it was actually like a week into buildment. Now, as we go on here, you're going to see some nice detail and layer effects. Not perfect by no means, just so everybody knows. Now, as you can see right there, you can tell it's an AMT car, because the rear valve panel on the kit cars, those cars, is actually two pieces where the bumper area in the back covers up, and the taillight, not taillight piece, excuse me, but the license piece actually goes into two holes that you see in the valve panel on AMT cars. Here's the interior too, as some people call it a tub. Now, what you're seeing right here is actually a weather effect done by Tank Krylon spray paint. It's like a Canadian color, but under that is actually a green color. It's actually an emerald green, as that's my testers. I also had a paint with my color paint was actually a green color as well. It's called Hunter Green. Now, how to get this like this is you take and you paint the car first in the green color, then you take and you apply engine RBT silicone, let it dry, and then easy spray on top of it with the color that you want, like the tan color. And then once everything dries, you easily rip the silicone back off. Now, as for the roll bar there, the roll bar is actually 332 evergreen round stock. The kit here is actually being built based on what one of the Chargers that actually survived the show would look like nowadays, before they're being restored. But in my book, if you got restored, it's not really a survivor anymore, because the survivor in my book would actually be the original paint that was actually used on the show, and then it was actually founded, but this made it. But this kit was actually being based on the condition of what a car would look like if it was found today. Now, as you can see right here, when it says right here, the colors was actually how it was applied. Now, like I said before, the roll bar in the kit, the AMT does make a nice square cage. It's like dirt track and stuff like that. It's nice. I will say it's actually nice. But some of the cars do stick out below the A pillars on top of the drip rail. So it's not, you almost got to bend the sides in a little bit and shorten the center section on the kit case itself, which is, I'm going to say, is a nice donor piece for the build, if you know how to retool it right way. But the 3-point roll cage, like it's seen mostly on the TV series, the kit doesn't have. You gotta make it your own. But Project in Progress, PIP does make the correct aftermarket parts for the builds. Just like this right here, this wide push bar. Again, the weather effect was done the same way. The rust was actually applied in a burnt amber color, and then easy silicone was applied over top of it. Then the black spray paint was actually sprayed over top of it, with a dull coat added. Now, to get the dull look like it, sometimes you can use a dull clear coat over top of the gloss to actually dull it down a lot. Now, here is the AMT shell. Now, as you can tell, it's not like the other companies, but this is actually a decent kit if you want to do builds like this. Now, as you can see right here, the decals is actually the AMT Dukes of Hazzard Generally Model Car Kit decals. But the thing about these decals is, the flag is the right size, so is the rib text, but the door numbers you almost have cut in half and overlay them just lightly a little bit to make them fit the door right and make them look accurate and correctly. The door decals is actually a little bit too big for the doors. If you go from the top to the bottom, they actually open up the bottom door rail opening, the opening seam, which is inaccurate. Now, if you look right there, you see it right here. Now, the window trim was actually done by bare metal foil, which is easy to make and also easy to buy in hobby shop stores around the globe. Now, the push bar and the roll bar was all scratch built by Project in Progress, aka PIP. And we do make the accurate TV series accurate scale parts for the generally builds. And the shell was actually weathered by PIP with pigments and homemade paint wash. Now right here you can see here it looks like a rust, because pigments and stuff that was actually used on it was actually layered over, and you can to seal the pigments on it, you can use clear varnish that you can buy in aerosol cans. Future Shine, not so much because it doesn't actually do it right. So I'm gonna say Varnish actually does better. Now here you can see some of the stuff in the front. Now to do this right here, it took a lot of time to actually do all of the rusting effects, because if you notice right here, the driver's fender is actually a different shade of orange. That fender is actually taped off and resprayed another color orange. The engine bay is a hunter green, followed by the interior. The same color was used for the interior undercolors. Now the rims here is actually AMT Dixie Hazzard rims and tires as well. But same thing was used on the tires to make them look more weather effect, like they were using the Hazzard Rose of Hazzard County. Now for the decals here, when doing decal weathering like this, you gotta do the weathering on the shell first, and then come back and you gotta pick the part with some kind of object like an ecto knife piece or even a needle. And then you gotta pick away the decals up in certain places and make them look like they was actually torn off over time, like weather effect took them over time. And if you look right, you can see on 01, it's the same thing, including on the rim stops, that piece of decal is missing because that was all part of the weathering effect that PIP was actually going for with this one. Now the dust on the car is actually, believe it or not, was real dust. Was actually on the car, and it was just at one point it was actually just sealed off inside to make it look actually like it was supposed to be. Now right here you can see the door is actually a little more duller because we use another layer of dull coat on the door itself. For every area that you see on this build right here, certain dull coat levels was actually applied to those levels of those panels. One brighter, one duller, and I'll play this here. Not one orange was used, there's about 3 shades of orange was actually used in this build here to make it look what we want it to look like. And the teardrop antenna you see in the back is actually a PIP item as well. There's like the roll cages inside, and like the front push buttons. It's all project progress, generally scale items that PIP makes. As for the kit, that's all AMT, generally Dukes Hazzard kit stuff right there. But now, as you look right here, you can see where we did a lot of weathering and stuff. Here's one thing that gets more the back glass. Now that was actually done by white transparent embossing powder. A driller was used to actually drum out the rear window, and then in the process of that, spray glue was actually applied in some areas, and the embossing powder was just easy sprinkle on top of that, make it look like shattered glass in the back. Again, if you take it license plate off, there's a gap there in that valve panel. Now, as for the gas cap here, the gas cap was actually reshot with aluminum spray paint, stored on the chrome. They were going to sit out there in the weather for decades. This is what the boat that actually looked like one of the cars that actually came up the back lot after the show was ended back in the 1980s to early 90s. Now here, the rim was all weathered up, make it look like it was actually sitting around the dust area. And everybody knows California has all those kind of windstorms up there, and dust and debris does get kicked up at times. And again, this car was actually supposed to resemble one of the cars set on the back lot that set in the series ended in 85. And the car was resemble one that was actually probably found in the late 90s, set in the field. And as you know, the sun rays stuff does do weather damage on the paint, so make paint and fade and everything. So that's what we was actually going for in this build here. Now the grill is actually an AMT grill, but we didn't use the inserts because the inserts is 1970 Charger inserts. And the 869 has a deep grill depths, which with the inserts they will not be that like that. So we did not include those in this build, and we just used gray primer to actually paint the grill piece. And we sprayed the bumper with silver, aluminum, metallic aluminum. And as for all details inside the engine bay, that was all done by PIP. We did all that detail work. The kit is a very good, accurate kit. It's actually very not 100% accurate, but it's actually 99% good kit actually for starter kit for kids to actually build the car into what they like. It does lack a lot of detail in certain areas, and it's not like the other manufacturers out there are, but it's still, I would highly recommend this kit for any kid out there, any kid from I'm gonna say from 10 years of age all the way up to adult that wants to get into model car building. I recommend this kit. It's actually a nice beginner kit. Now here you can see right here that the chrome on the wheel is actually all silver aluminum spray painted on. None of this was even airbrushed by no means. And like I said, the flag on the roof was actually from the kid. But when you ever run these cars together, make sure all the star points is pointing toward the driver's side of the car, not the passenger side, but the driver's side. All star points should point towards the driver's side. That's the accurate way of putting the flag on. It's 3 inches from the front and 4 inches from the rear window ridge. Is the position of the flag on the original car roofs, the road TV series cars. The names goes on the car roofs above the vent glass. The G on the driver's side and the E and Lee on the passenger side above the vent glass. The names does not go halfway in the center of the roof of the car by no means. That's completely, totally inaccurate. Radar incidence is actually accurate.